Hey human Latiosites, this is Latios0, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Picross, where we use logic puzzles to draw Pokemon pictures. So, let's begin. Alright, last time we got a bunch of Picross thanks to John Wedge 12, thanks once again, and we were able to, I guess, draw a bunch of more Pokemon, which is always nice to do. We also drew a Dragonite. This time, set a fairy type. Alright, do we have fairy type? Do it in a minute. I don't know how I'm going to do it in a minute. Do we have, oh, here's a fairy type we can set. Do it within a minute. Who can stop the clock a little bit? Do we have a psychic type? You want to stop the clock for us? You can too? Awesome. Alright. And me and square reveal might be useful. Why not? Alright. Well, set at least one fairy type. Done that. Let's do this! Diamond reveal. It only lasts 10 seconds though. Sure, let's use square reveal because, why not? Sure, let's get 10 free seconds. Alright, no, this is a 5, which means we have those are empty, those are empty, those are empty. Alright, we know these are 1s, meaning there could be a 1 in the front or the back. I don't know for sure, though. We know we have these. That was not true, which means this is the 7. We know that this has to be part of the 7. Alright, we know that's a 3. We know that's a 5. We know that's a 2. You know that's part of a 4. And a 2. Alright, that's part of a 5. Let's use another time stopper, because, you know, time stopping seems to be important for us right this second. That has to be the 3 and the 2. Alright, that has to be a 3 then. Alright, now we know these need to be connected to be a 5, meaning that also has to be true. That's our 1. Fair enough, that's our 4. That would make sense, I guess. Alright, alright, that means, whoa. Time stop again. Alright, we need 7. That's our 7. Alright, we need a 3. 3. Those have to be true, meaning that's our 2. And then we need a 1 underneath it. We need a 3 here. Can't fit a 3 there, so it would have to go upward, meaning that's our 2. We can't do this. We're out of time. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this in a minute, then, without using something else. Alright, we need that to go down, then. Meaning that's empty. So we need 2 1s. No, sorry, 1 1. Be there. So this has to go upward. And there's our 2. There we go! So with that, we drew and captured Sharpedo! I couldn't do it in a minute, I'm sorry. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that in a minute. We got 2 Picross, whatever. Alright. So once again, I'm going to hold off on Mega Evolutions for right now until a later time. I don't know why. What's the point right this second? I know what the point is, but whatever. Please don't be a 1-minute one. Another 1-minute one? Are they crazy? You know what? Whatever. Let's do this. I'm not using any skills. I don't even care. Alright, let's see. We know... those have to be in the 3. We know that. Which means this has to be... These have to be in the 4. That could potentially be useful. Actually, it's definitely useful. I just don't know exactly how useful. Those have to be in the 4. That has to be in the 3. Meaning that's a 2, and that's our 4. Alright, if we have that 2... We know this has to be in the next 2. Which means that can't possibly be true. Because the 3 won't reach that far. Alright, we need... Well... I mean, I could use Diamond Reveal. Actually, I don't know if we can use it in the beginning. Whatever. I didn't do this in the 1-minute time period, but I don't really care at this point. Those are gonna have to be in the 4. Well, the first 4, that is. Meaning that's our 2. This has to be the... Actually, it doesn't have to be the 1. That could be the part of the 4. This needs to be part of the 2, I guess. Because it can't possibly fit 2 2s and a 1 above it. Alright. Okay, let's see. If we can take... We know these are 1s. We don't know which ones, but... Alas, alright. That has to be part of the 3. This is gonna have to be either part of the 1 or part of the 2. Which means that's the 1 right there. This is a 2. So that can't be it. This is part of that makes this the 4 and the 2. In fact, that row was given to us in the beginning. I could have actually done that first thing. But that means this is part of the vertical 4, which makes that the horizontal 4. Which is definitely good to know. Alright, which means this has to be the 1, because this would have to be the 4, and that finishes this column. That's actually useful to know. Alright, so... If this is a 2, that means we have to have a 1 underneath it, which means that's the 3. Which means the 4 has to go at least there. This row is filled, which means that's the 4. There we go. Alright, so far so good. Alright, so we have a 1 and a 2, which means that's our 1 and our 2. Fair enough. If we have... This needs to be a 2, part of the 2. That's going to have to be part of the other 2, which fills in this column, which means we need... Well, this has to be a 1, which means our 2 is there, which fills in this row, and that's our 4. Also, that's our 4. And... Hold on. That can't be right, because this has to be a 3. Something seems up. This would have to be a 3, which means this can't be true, which means this would have to be true. That makes sense. Alright, we need a 1 and a 2, so that's our 1 and our 2. There's a 2. We need another 2. Let's go to the left or the right, I don't know. It's gonna have to go to the left because we need 2 1s, and it can't be here, so that's gonna be there. Which means we need a 1 and a 1. We have 1 at the bottom. So we take... This needs to be the 1 there. Which means we need... a 1 here. It can't be connected to that. So this has to be a 1. Which means the 2 goes here. The other 2 goes there. And there's our 1. There we go! So with that, we Pokemon abilityless drew Slack Off. Well, we used at least 2 Pokemon and used 2 or fewer skills. We didn't do it in a minute, but hey, you know, whatever. 1 minute is insane. That's craziness. But next up, use only time skills at least 2 Pokemon. We have 5 minutes. Alright. Let's do this. This is only time skills, so whatever. Alright, we have a 7, which means we have those in the middle. We know those have to be in the 6. Well, that's be connected, but... they're gonna have to be in there. Well, this is probably part of the 3. It doesn't have to be part of the 3, but it could go up or down. So, that's as much as we have there. We know those have to be in the 6. In fact, so does this and that, I believe. So those have to be in the 6. 2 and 7, that actually gives us the whole row. That's convenient. Alright, a 1 and a 5, that means we know this has to be true. In fact, we also know that. So that's useful information. We have that's a 2, that's a 3. We have a 4, which means that has to be in there. This needs to be a 1, which completes that row. That's a 2. That has to be a 5. That has to be a 2. A 7, it could go up, could go down. I don't know. But this needs to be a 2. And this needs to be a 4, so that has to go down there. So the 1 could go to the left or the right. Who really knows for certain? We know we need a 3 and a 1 here. Those have to be in the 3. So we have... this needs to be part of a 3. Could go up or down. This needs to be a 3. Which means we have... well, we have this 3. Okay, so now we have 2 and a 1, but it doesn't quite fit totally. We know that's the 4. That has to be in the 3, which means this is part of the 3. Which means that has to also be true in the 3. those have to be part of the 5. And this can't possibly be connected to the 6, because otherwise it would be 7, so that's the rest of the 6. This has to be part of the 2, which means the 2 would have to go to the left, and that has to be the 1, because you couldn't fit a 2 next to it if it was a 1. Alright, now we have 2 and a 3. We know this has to be part of the 3. That has to be in the 2. This can't be true. These are... that row is empty at this point, so is this. Alright, so the 3... well, we know this is a 2. So there's our 2. We have a 5 going down. We have a 3. I don't know which way it's going to go, but actually we do know we need 2 1s. Meaning that can't be, which means we need this to be a 3. And that has to go there. 3, and this is to be a 2. This needs to be a 3 and a 1. The 7 would have to be going... wait a second. That's not necessarily true. We need this 3 to go... actually, these can't be connected because that's a 1. So there's our 4. We have that. We have this to make our 7. We have a 3 and a 1. That wouldn't be true then. Because we have our 1 and our 1. 5 minutes on the dot! 5 minutes on the dot. I don't know if that counts though, because it was 5 minutes. It wasn't on... no! 5 minutes on the dot! Alright, we didn't use time skills though. Well, still, 5 minutes on the dot. That is, that definitely just happened. I can't believe that happened, actually. Alright. We want to do it in 5 minutes, set Magikarp. Do we even have Magikarp? I don't think we have Magikarp. But, whatever. Give us 10 seconds. Because, why not? Alright. So, we need... we know this needs to be in the 5, and so does this. Alright, if we take... that has to be in the 4. This would have to be in the 3 then. That has to be in the 2. Meaning that's a 2. These are connected to make a 5. This would have to be a 1. There's no way you could fit a 2 here. This has to be a 1. Which means that's not. Because that's a 3. Alright, so that means... this could go up or down. Alright, this is probably part of the 2 then. So we have a 2 and a 1. So that row's done. Alright, well, you know those are 1s. This has to be a 1. Well, actually it could be part of the 4 if there's a 1 underneath it. But at the very least that can't possibly be true. Right there at the bottom. So, I don't know how helpful that's going to be for us, but hey, you know, whatever. That's going to be true then. Which means this could be a 1 or a 2. This is probably going to be the 2 then. I can't say anything for certain. That has to be part of the 4 though, which means that's not true. we take... We could fit the 1, 4, 1 above there, but that's a 2, so that makes that a 1. We have a 1 and a 3. That's a column. Alright, which means this row is done. Alright, we have a 2 and a 1. That has to be in the 3, which has to be part of a 2. So this would need to be part... This needs to be the 2 then. Which means we need a 1 somewhere in here. We need 2 1s, which means those are the 1s. Now we need a 1 at the bottom. It's gonna be... Well, this would have to be part of the 2. There's no way I'm doing this in 5 minutes. Alright, 3. That has to be part of the 4, which makes that a 2. So that would have to be the 2. This needs to be a 2, because we need to fit a 1 at the top. This would have to be a 2. That could be... Actually, that could be the 3. But that would be the 3 in there. Which means we need this to be the 1. Oh, that's useful. That means we have a 1 and a 2. Wait a minute. The 2 might not be on the end. We know that's part of the 2, though. We have... This is... 3... So the 4 would have to go... This needs to be a 4. We're not doing this in 5 minutes, unfortunately. But I still think we can still accomplish this, if nothing else. So this has to go downward. This can't be true. So we need this to be a 1. And 2 more 1s, which means this has to be true. Alright. That needs to be a 1. So we need that 1. Those need to be true for that. There's our 4. There's our 2. 3 and 3. 1. That and... Wait a second. Need that 1. That to be a 2 and... Something's wrong here, clearly. That would be a 2, and that would be our 5 and the 1. There we go, in 6.25 minutes. I'm sorry, but without we caught and captured Star You. So, we used freeze time, so we got a pick right. But we didn't get that mural tile, but hey, you know, whatever. Whatever. Take care of it eventually. So for this one, we want to use Umbreon. Do it in a minute. Well, I can use Umbreon. Because, I mean, hey, why not? Alright, here we go. I'm not gonna be able to do this in the 1 minute time period, I'm sorry, but I don't know what to tell you. That's being the 2. Alright, so it has to be in the 4. This has to be a 2, that needs to be empty. Alright, if we take... well, this needs to be a 1, and so does this. That's a 3. Alright. The 2 is 1, 2, space, 1, 2. Yeah, the 2 has to be at the bottom. Those have to be in the 4. Actually, I'm not so sure about that bottom one. Actually, yeah, it definitely does. So, which means that's a 2, that's a 2, and those are 1, that's a 1. Also, that's a 2. That's a 2. So we know that those aren't the case. That has to be part of 3. And that's a 1. This is definitely part of the 3, not part of the 1. We take... Well... I guarantee that right here, well, this is the 1 for the 3, but, it might not be. Despite my guarantee. That said, this is a 4 and that's a 1. Meaning that's our 2, which completes that column. That's not the case. Those are part of the 4. Which makes those 1s. And I'm not getting very far here. This just isn't getting me very far. Alright, we need a 2 in here, but it's more than 2 available. We need... I don't even know. Let's see. This could be the 2, but we need a 2 and 2 1s. Meaning one of the ones to be over here. Huh. Alright, well... there could be a 1. This could be a 1 or it could be the 2. I don't know. Right, so that could be the 2... If we take the 5... that would have to be the 2. Which means this is the 2. So that's a 1. which means the 4 can't be connected to that, which means we have this. That has to be part of the 5. So that's our 2. We need 2 1s here, which means this has to be one of the 1s. Otherwise you can't fit it over there with 3. And 2, you can't fit the 3 of 2 1s. So that means we have 5. Which means these have to be part of the 1. These have to be some of the 1s. That's a 2. Filling in that row. That's a 1. We need another 1. We need our one more 1 here, which means that's there. This can't be a 2. So make more sense for the 2 to go upward there. So our last one have to be here. This needs to be a 3. Ah. That's a 1. We need 2 2s, which means this have to go up and down. Or down and up, should I say. So there's our 2, there's our 3. There's our 4, there's our 1, and there's our 1. There we go. Took us way too long, about 7 times as long as they asked for us to do this in. But, alas, we did use Umbreon, though, and we definitely used Autofix less than 3 times, so we got 2 pick rights. So that's something, that's definitely something. Alright, so it looks like there's one more place here. Well, one more thing we can do here. It's a 20 by 15. Oh, this is going to be fun. Set at least 1 legendary or mythical Pokemon. These only reveal skills. Alright, reveal skills? You got it. Zygarde, you're in. Only reveal skills. That's, you're not your legendary, so that's good. What else do you want to do? We also want to do this in 30 minutes or less, only reveal skills. So you guys aren't going to be able to do anything here, unfortunately. But alas, you'll, I'm sure you'll be good at pretending you're doing stuff. Alright. Unless... if I get really confused, I'll use Greninja. Well, no, actually, Greninja's only 15 by 15, so you won't even work. This Greninja will, though. And Celebi, if it comes down to it. If it comes down to it. This is probably going to be a difficult stage, but here we go! I'm going to use Square Reveal. Please be somewhere in the middle so it doesn't get, like, cut off, because that's kind of just messed up when it does that. Alright. Well, we have 2 of them available, so might as well use them! I mean, use them or lose them, right? I mean, really. Alright. Are you kidding me? That's just messed up. Alright. Well, that's a 4. That has to be in the 4. Meaning that's a 2. That's a 4. That's a 1. Alright. That's a 2. That's a 6. meaning this has to be in that last 2. Which is useful enough, I suppose. Alright, we also need a 4 in here, which means those 3 have to be in the 4. This is a 2, so that's our 4th. Alright. This is a 1. So that's our 2. And that's that row. So we have a full row done already. And we're just beginning. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So we have a full column done as well. There's our 4, which makes that our 1. Another column is done. So we're making our way so far. It's a 3. Another column is done. We're just getting this stuff done. Nice. Alright, the 2 could go up or it could go down. I don't know for sure. We know that this can't possibly be it, because you can't fit a 2 there, so this is a 2. That's the 3, which means we get the 2 at the bottom, which is yet another column done. So that's nice. Three, space 2, space 2, space 1. Yeah, there's no guarantee about that 1 in the next column to the left, but you know, those aren't. Now it's going to start to get a little more tricky, won't it? Alright, that's a 2. There's a lot of X's in the middle, I must say. 4. That's a 2, and that's a 1. That's a 3. This is a 2. That's a 2, and that's a 1. There we go. Yet another column done. Alright. That's a 2. No way you're fitting a 3 in there. So that has to be part of the 3. But we'll get there. Alright. In fact, that could be part of the 4. Alright, why do I keep clicking that? Alright, that has to be a 1. This may or may not be a 2. Alright, we know for a fact this can't be a 2. We need 2 2s, so that has to be a 2. That has to be part of the 2, which makes this the 1. Which means that's a 2, which means that is not. Which means that's the 1 right there, because I have to finish that 2. Which means this has to be a 2. And that's a 1. That's not going to fit there, so far not bad. A 1 and a 1. This needs to be a 1, meaning this is a 4. This row is done. So that has to be a 2, so those can't be true. This is a 1. Meaning this has to be the 1. It has to be a 1. Meaning this has to be a part of the 3. That has to be a 1, so that's a 2. And this needs to be a 2. Alright, well. Let's see, this is to be a 4. That's a 1. This is a 2. Looking in that column. This needs to be a 3, which means Those can't be true. This needs to be a 4. So that can't be true. This needs to be a 2. So that's not true. That can't be there for the 3. It's always nice to see how things piece together, little by little. Alright. That has to be in the 4. In fact, so does this. Which means this is a 1. We don't know which one it is. No, actually we do. We know for a fact that this has to be a 2. That's all that's left in this row. We also know this has to be a 4. That's a 2, which means that row is done. That's a 1. But then we have a 5 somewhere. Alright, we need a 3 and a 1. Well, this has to be part of the 3, obviously. So we have 5. Now the 2 goes somewhere. But we have these are 1s. This has to be part of the 2. Well, this one, in that column, that has to be part of the 2. It can't possibly be in the 1. This one has to be a 1. So we have a 1 and a 2. This needs to be part of the 2, meaning that this can't be true, because this has to be part of this one. Underneath has to be part of the 2, which means this has to be the 2. Which means that's not true. That obviously can't be the 3. So our 1 has to go below it. We don't know how far below it. This has to be a 2. That's our 4. The 1s has to be to the left of that thing, so that can't be true. Alright, that means this is our 1 right here. Okay, if we take... Well, our 5 has to include those. And not anything over that way. In fact, this entire column's done. This can't have the 3. Meaning our 3 has to be including that, meaning that's a 2. So there's our other 2. Meaning there's our 1s. Meaning this has to include that for the 2. And this, the 2 has to be to over there, meaning that's our 2. That's this 2. That's a 1. We need a 1 and a 2, meaning this is the 2 there. That's a 2. Meaning we have our 3 and our 1. There we go! So with that, we drew and captured Kyogre! So with that, we did it within 30 minutes. Gotta use the legendary or mythical Pokemon Zygarde. Not mythical, it's legendary. And we used only reveal skills, i.e. Zygarde. So yeah, all you need is Zygarde. And this isn't too bad. And we got 6 Picross for it. Nice, and Kyogre gets to wear that little crown. Awesome. So I guess next time we'll move on to, I guess, do some other stuff. More fun puzzles in a new area. we'll move on to a new area, since I guess we're now done with backtracking to areas 6 and 10. So yeah, area 10 has a lot of Pokemon. Kind of fun, really. Definitely more than area 6. And Kyogre, I mean, who could say no to that? So, next time I guess we'll move on to area 12. And I guess try to do some new Pokemon puzzles, roll some more Pokemon, have some more fun. So I'll see you guys then. So thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time when we move on to area 12. Goodbye!